Hey everybody, this is Anime Schmanime Reviewer here, and I have a special guest with me. We're going to be discussing about the film Transformers 3: Dark of the Moon. And with me is the Phantom Reviewer.
What's up, everybody?
How you doing, Phantom?
I'm alright. Few days off. No, it's my only day off. So
Oh.
I'm trying to enjoy whatever I can.
You have to, man. These days are getting shorter and shorter. But this review is not. By the way, okay. I need you to do something for me. I need you to ask me certain questions about the film so that we can get it, I can get it out and it'll be pretty professional. You can start with the questions and I'll just tell you what I thought of them.
Oh my god. What am I going to start with? Okay. First of all, out of all the three movies, which one is your favorite right now?
I know this is hypocritical, even though this just came out. I have to say that it was this one because, first off, it kind of tried to take itself seriously. I kind of appreciated that in some way or another because I was like, I know like the other two are kind of dopey in some way. I mean that's part of the charm of the Transformers and everything. They're kind of one-liner kind of like characters and everything, and they battle each other.
Yeah.
But this one, I don't know. I really loved how they tried to take it seriously, but still kind of give it a little bit of a charm and kind of give it more of emotion than the last two films, where it just seemed kind of fake emotion that was going into the film. Like like when they're in danger, you feel like you kind of unintentionally laugh because it looks so terrible.
Yeah.
But with this one, it actually was trying to be take Transformers seriously, and
Which is a hard concept now today, like giant robots.
Take that seriously, right?
Taking that seriously is a bit difficult now these days, but
with this film, they tried to give the characters a little bit more of an emotional,
more depth, more emotion.
Like you can actually give a damn about whether they died or not, and I think that's
that's for sure. Because I was kind of pissed off at a few deaths in that movie.
Oh, we'll get more into that definitely. I have a few complaints.
Oh no,
myself.
we're not gonna spoil it.
Oh, we're not. Oh, okay.
But
right.
I'm just saying, like there were a few characters I was upset that died. Even Decepticons.
Yeah.
I really think some Decepticons should have lived. I mean, granted, it is the third film, and it could be the last one, but you never know. That I hear there's a fourth one in the making or talks right now.
And I have a feeling I know how that's going to go.
But it didn't. All right, let me ask. It seemed like we just seen this movie before, though, because.
Oh yeah.
Didn't you? All right, like explain. What do you think you like? Return of Megatron. Every movie he returns,
or
he's like either damaged or he's frozen in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Comes back.
And then killed.
Then he's dead in the second one, comes back, and he gets blasted his face off. In this one, it just seems like Megatron didn't have much.
No, it's like he was in the background where, as in the new guy was, I don't want to spoil anything, but he kind of took control of Megatron, was like, I thought we were going to do this together. No, you betrayed me, but that's okay. I'm sure they'll still think of Megatron as their leader. Right?
all right.
But you have a good point. Like, it's kind of like, it's like a theme with this movie or these movies.
Or Michael Bay just is running out of ideas.
I wonder if he's kind of the person who actually either does take the advice of the fans, and I think he did for this one, where it didn't have.
Oh no, I agree. Yeah, he's done some things in this one where I think fans have said like, "Don't do this, don't do that."
And he kind of followed it through. He didn't have too many dopey jokes. The action was pretty damn good and triumphant. A lot more epic in like it was dramatic, but they contained that. It didn't go overboard or anything. Sure, it was like usual Michael Bay explosions and everything, but
Michael Bay explosions.
But this time around, it was a little bit more better. Like the scoping and the way that everything was shot was done beautifully, and I have to agree that the explosions, everything was done in a very poetic, chaotic kind of way, and just the flow of it. The story was not boring. There was never really a dull moment. For me, anyway.
Well, yeah, I will explain mine later.
Okay, but. Other than that, I don't know. I think it was a little more of the more mature Transformers film.
I agree. It was more of adult
orientated.
Yeah.
And it treated its audience. It didn't like try to sugarcoat anything. It didn't try to water down anything. It basically gave us a Transformers movie that we can just sit back and not feel insulted by intelligently anyway. And I felt like, I was watching a very well made, Transformers film, and I was happy once I came out. I was like, damn, that was good. It wasn't hokey as much as the second one, but yeah, I'm gonna have to say I like this one the best. And I don't know. I mean, I didn't have any quarrels with it really.
All right. Next question is, what about? This is really hard to just ask you questions because I can't really just ask you.
Oh, go ahead, man. Anything will be fine. I don't care.
What? This was a pet peeve of mine. But what did you think of Shockwave in the movie?
Okay, I mean, I love the design of Shockwave. I thought he looked resembled.
He looked like the
original,
like cartoon version.
Oh yeah.
Just be honest with me.
Okay.
How disappointed were you when the fact that he didn't really have a line and he only showed up for a few scenes and he didn't even transform? He was just riding that giant magical worm monster. The
tentacle creature.
Where did that come from?
I think he built that. I think.
The only problem I have is where are these things hiding? How come this thing wasn't brought out before? Where did Shockwave come from? How come he just comes out of nowhere? If Megatron just explained oh, I called Shockwave from Cybertron to give me a hand.
I think that might have been exactly it.
Dude, that would have just been better. But seriously,
better explained.
What was your take on it? What was the fact that you thought?
I was just happy that visually they did a good job with him. I thought he looked really badass, and every time he came on, I was really excited because I'm like, okay, what's he gonna do next? But you're right.
Not much.
Well, yeah, sadly, but you know what?
No, go on. I will explain.
Okay,
later.
The only thing I really was disappointed. I don't want. This is a spoiler, for anybody who doesn't want.
Not much of spoiler.
Not
fans.
really, but I'm gonna try not to do as much though. The thing that I thought was kind of sucked is that the United States military took down Shockwave with no problem. Almost. Well, damaged him enough.
Yeah, and I will explain why that pissed me off too.
I'm like, I know the Transformers. They're supposed to be really. I mean, I know they're not immortal or anything like that.
I don't think a human should be able to take down a leader.
I mean, you gotta have some really good firepower if you're gonna do that. Especially with Shockwave, and he has the tentacle thing going around.
That was taken out.
Yeah, it was taken out, but it was taken out in a reasonable way. But other than that, I guess I was kind of disappointed, but at the same time, I don't know. I really enjoyed the scenes that he was in. I was happy he was in them. I was just happy he was at least in the movie.
Oh yeah, that is one thing.
Or if they only had one scene with him and he just disappeared, we never saw him again, I would have been more pissed. Okay.
That
would have been.
That's how I felt with Soundwave in the sequel. I'm like, yeah, all right, we got Soundwave. And
what's he gonna do?
He's all like,
hey, go down there, get Megatron, and I'll chill up here and watch some, satellite porn.
Oh, I love my tentacle porn.
I love the Ford Focus.
And then he's just checking out other cars.
Yeah, look at that Hummer.
That's what I want. But it's.
I really was pissed off.
But I was happy. But I was happy he had more lines in this one, and he actually had more things to do. And bringing in Laserbeak. And
Laserbeak, my God!
Laserbeak.
What a fucking ridiculous character.
And it looked
in that movie. No, Laserbeak, understand. He was he's a cool he's an
assassin, but to get information like in the cartoon.
But in the oh God, keep talking about your stuff. I have so much to say.
All right, well I had a good time with it. All I gotta say is that there were some scenes that seemed kind of rushed, but you know what? I kind of forgave it, and I am a little disappointed what happened to Starscream because he was my favorite.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna ask you this.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask you that question. How pissed off were you when you saw Starscream get taken down, but not by
Transformer,
not by an Autobot, not by a giant weapon that would destroy look how what's his name? The Constructicons got destroyed by the giant railgun.
Yeah.
That's understandable. That thing was huge. But how pissed were you
when it was? All I can say, I felt the same way as I did in the 1986 film when Starscream got killed.
Oh, I was pissed off at every fucking character that died in that movie. Soundwave was the only one the only one of the originals that didn't die,
and
he somehow still managed to stay a part of the Decepticon army.
I don't know what else to say about that, but I'm like, I kind of saw it coming because I'm like, if they're gonna stay close to it seemed like they were trying to go for the '86 film in some way or another.
It did seem like that
a little bit in the tone because everyone was dying.
How many minutes are we on?
We're got like 10 minutes and 20 something seconds. Don't worry about it. It'll be okay. But yeah, I guess I was really upset, but I'm like, I have a feeling he'll come back eventually because they always do.
All right. What did you think of the action in the Chicago scene?
Oh, it was really well done actually. It wasn't as chaotic as in the second one, but I knew what was going on in the second one. But for those who didn't know, who were not really fans of Transformers, they for the second one, of course, I understand them being pissed. But for this one, this is a lot more better because you know who's who and who's getting killed and everything. It's all explained, where they are, what's going on. I'd say the action was actually pretty decent. Sadly, I enjoyed the action more in the second one than in the third one, but the third one was still pretty. I think the third one's more. They had better shot scenes, and the 3D actually looked okay.
What? Not too close. 3D wasn't really fantastic.
Well, the first part when we see Cybertron.
Yeah, Cybertron.
That was pretty cool.
I was excited when I saw Cybertron like that. That's what Cybertron should have looked like.
Mm-hmm.
They made it look like fucking giant spikes coming out of the goddamn ground.
And then the first one,
oh
yeah.
my god, it just reminded me of
hell, basically.
Like a robotic hell, but still
Metallic
not
hell.
the most fantastic thing. But all
right,
what did you think of the human scenes, the human actors?
Okay, first off, I don't know if I mentioned this before to anybody, but I hate the human characters. Sadly.
Oh yeah,
they're so annoying. I hate to say it, but they're really annoying. And if Michael Bay just focused more on the robots and just had the robots, no humans, maybe the military, that would be okay. I'll be okay with that because they're correlating with each other. But if it was just them working together to stop the Decepticons, this would have been a better movie. Or any of them would have been better movies. But it's okay. I'll live with it. But they're really irritating. That's all I gotta say.
Agree.
Yeah.
Very irritating.
Oh! I'm gonna ask you. I got tons of questions to ask you about the human actors in the next thing. But okay.
Well, let's finish up yours.
Okay. For me, I enjoyed it. It's now one of my favorite movies because I think it's something that took the Transformers films and kind of took it seriously and didn't try to babble in it and fuck everything up like they did in the last film. But all in all, I had a good time, and it's probably one of the better times I've had at the movie with being with you guys and going to see it. It was great, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good movie.
But it has its flaws. With many good movies, they have their flaws, but it's okay. I'll live with it. All right, so we're gonna start the second half. We're gonna start our interview with the Phantom Review and see what he thought of Dark of the Moon. All right, we'll be back.